Hello, welcome to the Nanoscale Fabrication and Characterization Facility at the University of Pittsburgh. We are here in the sub-basement of Benedum Hall, and the first thing that you'll do when going into the facility is dust your shoes. I will be placing my hand on a button here, my foot in, and now we can go inside. And we will go inside. Okay. If you are wearing a fabric mask, one that's made for washing, then please switch to one of our provided masks. They are provided here. At current time, we do have a shelf of clean room gloves in this space, as well as characterization gloves. You may pick your gloves here, or pick them inside the clean room. If you are going through a yellow door, then you are going into the clean room. I'm going to pause for a moment to operate the door, and we will review gowning. So, as you recall from the click-through training, you will be doing head coverings, gloves, shoe covers, gown. Make sure you remember to pick up eye protection somewhere along that way. It helps to remember that the order is just to continue moving straight through the room. So what we're going to do is begin gowning up, and I will set you up so that you can watch me do so. Okay, beginning with head covering items. We have a mouth and nose cover at the middle, hoods, and hair covers. For this process, we do still need to cover both our nose and mouth for any access into the clean room. Please note that these laundry type of masks, if you are still wearing them, cool, but please note that they are not clean room compatible. So if you are wearing one when you arrive in gowning, try and put it in your pocket. That's in my pocket now. And what we're going to do is cover both our mouth and our nose in a different way. These are technically called beard covers. You may pick up, and we will place them here, a synthetic mask, the little blue ones. If you're wearing a mask that you really like, such as an N95 or whatever those are called, then you can put this over top of that. It should cover your nose and your mouth. You can have just a synthetic blue mask from us. You can have this over top of a mask if you're still choosing to wear one, or you can have this by itself as I'm designating currently. From there, you can pick either a hood or a cap. Caps are simple, they're just like a hat, so I don't think I need to demonstrate. The hoods are a little more complicated. This looks a little bit like a motorcycle helmet. This looks just like a Muppet. We're going to put our head through the Muppet's mouth as previously demonstrated. Put your finger here to get it out of your eyes. And the reason for this is this really covers your chin well, but it does not stay over the nose well. So you do need mouth and nose covered. And with a mask underneath or not, at your choice, but you do need to upgrade to be using these mouth and nose covers. You may pick either a set of goggles. They are open facing this way for access after you put your coverall on, if that's when you remember. These kind fit over top of prescription lenses. These kind do not fit over top of prescription lenses. You may also select a face shield, which we have hooked over the top of the shelves for easy access. Okay, so the next thing we're going to put on, because it's in order, we've done head coverings. We're going to pick, I'm going to pick some goggles. For this, I am going to disinfect it. So we have wipers here, and we have disinfectant, particle removal, disinfectant. This is special. This, we're going to use disinfectant for our goggles. I'm going to pause while I do this. These are now disinfected, and I have placed them. They must be worn. These, a face shield, or you may bring your own safety protective lenses. Prescription lenses are not sufficient for protection in the clean room. You must have chemical and impact protective lenses of some sort. The next thing we're going to do is pick a size of glove and put them on. So I have my gloves that I've picked out of the bin. Next, I will pick either a smaller shoe cover or a larger shoe cover. Men's size 9, which is around, I believe, a 37 in European sizing, is the dividing point between these two types of shoe covers. If you have very small feet, you will need these, or you may step out of the elastic. And if you have larger shoes, which may include thick soles on the bottom of your shoes, you may need the larger size. In this case, actually pause. In this case, we will be using the shoe covers. You can pick up 2 shoe covers. You may sit like a number 4 or like a sit-up in order to put on your shoe cover. Please remember that your clean shoe cover should not touch the dirty side, and your dirty shoe should not touch the clean side. Dirty is when you first come in, clean is that way. So now that this is covered, I can put my foot down. This shoe may hover, but it should not touch the ground. So I have placed my leg like this. And I should mention that I did start with the leg that is closer to the room where I am going, which reduces difficulties in getting there. The next thing we're going to do is the coverall, and that will be the last step in gowning up. Please note that in order to bring any supplies inside the lab, they must be processed for particle removal first. This is the particle remover. It is called Nova Clean, and it is a particle filtered detergent water, very mild. And as an example, I will clean my phone. So I've pulled the wipe, and I am going to spray the wipe, not my sample. This will then be used. You may follow the full procedure if you wish to maximize your particle removal. In this case, I'm just wiping it down on all exposed surfaces. This is a good reminder that only non-porous items, and that includes wafer boxes, should be brought in, and anything that is a sample should be carried in a container that is clear plastic, and sealing. If you wish to bring in chemicals that are not previously supplied, please check in with a staff member first. And if you're not sure if what you can bring inside can come inside, let us know and we can help. All right, so let's put on the coverall. Now that you are on the clean side of the gowning room, you have access to several coveralls. I would like to point out that there is a section called General Use Gowns. Our top 25, perhaps more at a later date, users may be granted designated hangers. These are marked by size, so you can find your size by looking at the lapel. There is an M there. L. L. We have a few different brands at the moment. This will be the standard brand in the future. So you can see there's a few coveralls here. So you can take selection if your size is not available when you wish for it. There are additional supplies at the top, and this is where you will pull your coverall from. I do also want to point out that at several places around the clean room gowning at this time, we have guidelines posted to help, as we have just returned to this system and people may need to review the process. So, having picked the coverall of the appropriate size for you, my recommended method for keeping the wrists of the garment from dragging on the floor is to take your coverall so that the zipper is facing away from you, fully unzipper it, so that that's fully open now. Take one wrist in one hand and about halfway up the zipper, take another wrist in the other hand and about halfway up the zipper. You can now adjust so that you have a little bit of your hand free. The idea is that if the wrist is in your hand, it is not on the ground. You can then sit. You see I have the wrists here and here. And I'm going to pull my foot the rest of the way through. Same again. And I'm going to stand up and pull these so that they're up all the way like pants. At this point, I can drop the wrists, and they are no longer at risk of touching the ground. Even our users who are a little shorter have no problem with this. I have not seen anyone risk touching the ground. So now, you can finish any way you like. So this is on, and I will zipper. My zipper's a little bit stuck. This is actually trash on me almost. And you will straighten the collar so that it is up. And make sure this is fully zipped. I'm going to bring you along for my check. Before entering, especially when I am new, I look in the mirror and ensure that I have my head covered, this covered, my eyes are protected, gloves, zippered up totally, and shoe covers. And with that, we can now go inside. In this section, we will review going into the lab and seeing the primary safety aspects that need to be seen. The first thing that I would like to review is the location and use of HF exposure risk items. Keep in mind that any exposure does need to be reported for an ER visit if this were to occur. We do want everyone who may be around to know the location and method of use for related supplies. So this is our acid hood. From the entrance acid hood, here is the shower and eye wash station. 5 minutes. During the 5 minutes of rinse time, it is a good time to speed dial. That is Pitt Police. I'm going to hit done. The Pitt Police number will allow you to have the room number of your location be logged with your point of contact. So you don't have to explain where you are, which is really, really nice. After 5 minutes, they will come out of the wash. Keep in mind that any amount of concern, you want to take as many layers off. Do not leave any cover on affected areas. We are no longer worried about particles if it is someone's health. If it's eyes, they're going to stay in the eye wash. Anything else after 5 minutes of rinse, you're going to apply this stuff. These gloves are not chemical protectant gloves. As such, you may, if you wish, grab acid gloves, or because those are latex, you may not wish to have exposure to latex, in which case you will apply this to the skin and spread it with a stick. That is all. We also want to show you the specialty alarms for our lab. One of them is right here, same as in characterization side. If this blinks red and beeps, it means that there is an air quality problem for which you must exit. The exit for an air quality problem involves exiting the lab and not standing anywhere near a lab entrance. This is one of the fire alarms. They are the same as anywhere else. You will fully exit the building, and again, my recommendation, as from previous modules, is to fully cross a street so you're not too close to any exhaust ports. And then there's one unique to the clean room. We have 3 instances of this item. The rooster. The rooster, as we're looking at it, beeps very loud, and the face on it flashes red to white, red to white. That alarm, if going off, means that the fan inside this stack has stopped sucking air out. And it is then the compounds which are heavier than air will be falling back down in. Additionally, you'll be smelling many things. You will want to be exiting and not standing near the lab entrance. With the air quality problems, our lab is pressurized, and so the problem can be pushed also out the cracks. So those are the 3 items. If you are exiting, preferably for emergency exit, you would, if possible, go back out gowning. You're not going to stop to take off your outfit. You're simply going to scare people. You will scare people because during COVID times, we sure look scary, don't we? If you can get to that door and exit, that's perfect. Your gown will be disposed afterwards because it will have particle exposure, and that's perfectly fine. You go out, and then once you're safe, then remove your gown and dispose it. If you are stuck and cannot get out that door, here is that emergency exit. It will not close behind you. It will sound an alarm, and it will need a staff key to close it again. So if you use this door, do not wait around trying to get the door to close behind you. It's not going to work. It is here for emergency exit only. And in the case that by some strange chance neither of these doors is available to you, that seems very unlikely, the last ditch effort here would be this one. This is not a preferred emergency exit because you may be going past our waste chemicals and you will be going past gas canisters. That said, it sure is better than being stuck in here. So if you absolutely must, this will work. It's our staff service corridor that does go the whole way out. So that is a review of the safety elements you need to know. I would like to show you also where every phone is in the lab. For doing so and to save time, I am going to put my tour of the lab on fast time lapse and pause for a few seconds to point at the location of each phone. I'd also like to do a quick review of how speed dial works so that you can call us, and a reminder that the phone number to call for assistance is this one. So if you're just picking this up, you dial 38001. All phones in the lab ring, which is good because most of these folks are not at their desk. You are very likely to reach their voicemail. Another way to make the phone call is to hit this speed dial. Emergency, people's desks. So remember that if you're pushing one of these buttons, you're going to get their voicemail, and this is this number, staff lab number. If you need the police, it's this first one, and all the rest you'll get a voicemail. Okay, so that's our phones. Thank you. The next module will be ungowning, for which we will re-enter this room. And now we are going to ungown in the same way that we did when we went out. We are again going to keep the wrists of the garment from dragging on the ground. These are the parts of the garment that would end up over someone's experiment and adding particles to their work. And so that's why we prioritize not touching these to the ground. So the first thing I do is unzipper. I have a sticky zipper. Then take this to the point where it is like pants. So now I just have trousers. I'm going to take both wrists and put them in one hand. And I am going to go near this bench, move this so I will not sit on it, and then I will sit with the wrists in this hand. I will take this pant leg. I drop the leg, I'm holding the wrists. Gonna trade hands and do the same thing. I find it helps to give it a shake so you know which way is up. And then we will hang it. I'm going to change the angle here. Give me just a moment. Okay, so here is my coverall. And I am going to take a hanger and hang it up. And please, we ask please, zipper your garment all the way up. Because if it is not zippered, they will fall on the floor. And then it will be wasted. So we're about ready to go out now. At this point, our coverall is off, and we still have shoe covers, gloves, head covering, and goggles. I handled them, I don't know if I was in frame. So we're going to take these on. They are still on because I am on this side, the clean side. And I can take everything but my face mask off once I am over there. So I will step. And now, I will disinfect these to put them back. I will very carefully remove head covering but not face mask and put them in the rubbish. I will remove shoe covers. And lastly, well, imagine I moved two of them. And lastly, I will remove gloves. And then we are ready to go. Thank you so much. I do wish to review location of extra supplies with you. Let me finish with removal of the items I didn't yet, and I'll be right back. All right, quick review of additional supplies. As a reminder, all sizes of coveralls are available up here. If you do not find your size here, you can grab one. Extra wipers, extra hoods, extra caps, extra mouth and nose covers. So that's the head covering extras. I'm gonna turn so you see. They go in here. There are also extra shoe covers in smaller and larger on the floor below, and there are extra gloves. This one's easiest to pull with one hand, which you can pick the size that you need. If you find any of these bins empty, here you have a solution. So, if you have any questions, please let me know. My email directly is b as in boy, ARRJ @pitt.edu. And I look forward to seeing you in the walkthrough. Thanks so much. See you at the lab